Everybody ready? Here we go. Clear. Ready. You gotta be still on the dock here, folks.
Now, Tom?
Yeah.
You gotta be real out of breath.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
No more. Okay, guys, good. Ready?
Lieutenant, what are you doing here? Lieutenant Dan, I got you caught.
Working on the water is always hard. It looks so easy, but there's nothing harder than trying to make a movie anywhere near boats or water, because everything moves and everything's floating and the sun's moving and the wind and the currents and all those things. So we had this whole flotilla of boats and barges.
Well, Bob comes up with these things, ways of doing it. It was beyond my comprehension. I never thought you'd take a barge out there and drop, leave it there and then steer it around with this tugboat. It looked to me like one of the most complicated. I didn't think it was going to work. But there's no other way to control everything that Bob had to control, because you're out there with multiple cameras and VistaVision and all that stuff. But it was, it was summertime. It was South Carolina. The water was warm, and it was a beautiful, all the shrimp you could eat. Not that you'd want to after a while.
It's like, what? And then run back to the wheel, then run back and kind of do some steering and run back and talk to them and back.
All right, I got a feeling they're over there. Where? Left. Take a left.
Okay!
No, left. I said left. Jesus.
Okay!
Good.
Which one?
Left. No.
Sorry!
Very nice.
Where? See him?
Sorry,
Where
guys.
are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, Bob.
My energy.
Bob.
What?
We just start creeping in.
Yeah, we can.
And action. I got a feeling the shrimp are over there. So take a left. And Tom. What? Get on the wheel and take a left. Left. What the hell are you doing? Take a left. I said left. We're out there. That's where we're going to find the shrimp, my boy. That's where we'll find them.
I love Bob. He knows his stuff. Funny as shit. And one day they were rigging me up in the thing up there, and I turned to Bob and I said, because I have a lot of different rigs with my legs and different things. I turned to Bob and I said, how many rigs can one man withstand? And he goes, oh, this is nothing. Meryl Streep had to act with a blue sock over her head.
I went up and focused
Don't follow. And it would be dangerous.
When we based ourselves in Beaufort, South Carolina, we discovered that there were a lot of outlying islands in the area that all had features that resembled different terrain in Vietnam. When we were staging a gigantic scene where Forrest was saving Bubba was on Fripp Island, which is the furthest outlying island in this island chain.
Michael, let's get on there again so we can get this set. Okay, Tom.
What has to happen is Forrest has to go back and find his second best good friend, and that's Bubba.
The pants are going to fall down in the scene. Hold on.
And the last time he goes in to keep looking for Bubba, he knows that they're going to napalm the whole thing.
Yeah, they might go. Oh, nice for a minute. See how this works. Right, baby?
Come on now. So technically, I had to carry Michael T., which is no easy feat, so they helped me out with some complicated rigging and monofilament lines and body harnesses and things like that.
I can float this in over.
Tom Hanks is a nut, man. Tom is crazy. Tom is quiet, and then all of a sudden he'll just just break out and just start doing this shtick.
The name of that movie is Peter Motherfucker Pan.
Peter the Brother Pan. Very careful. A camera speed.
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 Speed. Four camera, come and mark.
Clear. Set. Action.
The first time we went through, I mean, Tom was running and it looked like, you know, Bubba was sort of floating on his own like this sort of light feathery sack.
He's way high. Oh, he's way high.
Yeah, it's all screwed up. Wait a minute, guys. He's like 2.5 feet too high.
Yeah.
And then the next time we added a little more weight, and then Tom was barely able to even run because he had so much weight that he was, you know, carrying. But we got it right eventually.
When the moment came that it actually went up in flames, just with me just a few steps in front of it, I had to be very. I couldn't misstep once, otherwise I would have been killed, because the gas flames were just a few feet. Actually, the napalm went off, and I was asleep in my trailer, actually, after a long lunch. But the way it looks is very, very dicey stuff, and I don't think I'm going to do my own stunts after this movie is over. I think I'll let somebody else do it for me.
This will be a great position. All right, So Dale, if you were marching out of this marsh, yes, sir, through this tree opening, how many guys would you walk?
We had Captain Dale Dye, who was probably the premier Vietnam advisor.
We're gonna make a wedge, folks. Alpha's here, Bravo's here.
I'm playing a lieutenant in a platoon. I don't come from a military background at all. I wasn't in the service. So what we did was we went out to the jungle and we lived out there for 3 days, which is short by comparison to some of the other films that Dale has done. Platoon, I think he took them out to the Philippines for 3 weeks.
The point man is Zorro, right? When Zorro moves, you'll see him. That's about all you'll see.
That's it.
Move when Zorro.
I'll go get my line.
Yeah, go take your
I'll get my line from Vic.
The script called for a whole variety of different reigns in Vietnam that were listed off almost in the same way that Bubba listed off all the ways you cook shrimp. You know, doing rain that, you know, is running parallel to the ground is like nearly impossible. I mean, how do you get enough wind power to drive this rain just literally horizontal to the ground?
He was telling me about it. Oh, it's going great. We got this jet engine. And I tried to imagine what that would be like. And I thought, well, it's probably like an engine of a jet stuck on what, like a trailer? Well, sure enough, that's exactly what it is. They just kind of pointed it at us, fired it up, and blew kerosene exhaust on us. It's not pleasant, I'll tell you that right now, but man, that wind does blow.
You gotta do it again. Take it back. Back line up. That was good. Tom.
Once the movie starts rolling.
Usually, you know, you just take it for granted that a vast majority of the movie is going to be voiceover and you'll be doing it later. And Bob's idea to shoot it, he said, oh, I think we got to shoot it all. We got to be there. We really got to shoot it. So, and I thought, why? I mean, we're just going to have to redo it. But if we don't have to redo it, then we have it there in real time, in the real place, and you know, and it plays out in real scenes.
That's better. Now, what are we doing with these cue cards? Where are they going to be for Tom?
Let's just have one
I always knew that we'd start off with those cards, and by the time we'd rehearsed it enough, I'd know it at a pop. But it was just reams and reams and reams and reams of pages of dialogue. But they were all so connected with images that we had already filmed or images that we had talked about so much that I hardly even needed them. By the time the cameras were rolling, I didn't even look at them.
Hanging everyone inside. Okay, ready to go?
And background action. And action, Tom.
When I was born, my mama named me Forrest Gump. Hold on.
And action.
When I was born, my mama named me Forrest because of a hero. Okay, because of some general.
And action.
When I was born, my mama named me Forrest because of some general who was a hero in the Civil War. Mama said we was kin to General's family some ways. And he was a great man, she said, except he started up the Ku Klux Klan. Grand Exalted Pish Pash, or whatever they called himself. Anyways, just one time they was out running around in their sheets, in their underwear, hanging everyone in sight. The General's horse tripped or something. The General fell into a bunch of mud. They must have mistaken the General for somebody else because the confusion and all, it was dark out, and seeing how he was covered in mud, they hung him too. Anyway, that's how I got my name, Forrest Gump.
And cut. Hey, now, where do you want, how, the looks, where do you want them? I mean, you know,
What's on your mind?
you want it like totally conversational where I'm going all over the like that, or do you want me to like lock into it, you know, or just find it? Because I mean, if that was just everywhere, I don't have to be everywhere.
I think it should be two places. I think it should be I think it should be out there. It should be the reminiscing angle, which is that, and then the conversation.
Can I go this side of this?
Of course you can.
Okay, I can go anywhere. All right.
Of course.
I was like just kind of, especially late in the schedule the way it was, I was just, it's the last thing I thought I would want to do. By the time we got to doing it, it was the most fun that I'd had on the movie because you literally get to spin this kind of yarn. So it's not just me recording the information, but me relaying the story, which is a big, big difference.
From that day on, if I was going anywhere, I was running.
And cut. Okay, action, Tom. Backhand, power. Back and forth, Valentino.
As great an actor as Tom Hanks is, he's a really good ping pong player, but he's not as good as what Forrest has to become.
More power, Tom.
So we did that using movie magic. You have the actors mime playing ping pong, and then you put the ball in later optically.
And cut. Let's try it again at 22 frames.
Of course, in typical movie fashion, we hire the greatest ping pong player in the world to be his opponent. Of course, this guy's never played without a ball before. He's out. He's out.
He's like a world-class ping pong player, and of course, to ask him to pretend to play ping pong is one of the hard. He had such a tough time.
If Valentino, when I crank it up, if he gets out of sync, why don't you just be still until he gets in?
Okay.
And then pick it up after that.
Okay.
And then
Because what we couldn't do, you can't have both characters swinging at the same time. So we had to have a metronome so that each character would know when to strike the ball. And then we kept speeding it up and speeding it up. And it wasn't that easy.
I tell you, it was exhausting playing that ping pong game. It was, it was very tough. I'd rather actually play ping pong with a regular ball. That was tough work.
I'm beginning to see it though, Bob. I'm beginning to see the ball.